And I don't know what Beyonce was like before marrying him because I wasn't aware of her at the time. And I noticed that she seemed to become very radical. She did a performance at a Super Bowl game or something like that. And she wore black, and she was doing the black power, black power, black power. And she's into the Black Lives Matter thing. What caused her, if it wasn't her husband's influence, what caused her to become so radical?
Her mother and father. That's an easy answer. I didn't have to hesitate on that.
You mean you and your wife caused her to become so radical?
Yeah, Solange is also radical.
And why would you do that to them?
Do what to them?
Cause them to become so radical, kind of all into the black thing.
Radical is not a negative word. Radical means that you also bring awareness. Radical doesn't mean that I'm out, defaming and putting down people. Radical mean that we want to have power, black power. That can mean financial power. We are $1 trillion. If we look at all the revenue generated by blacks in America, we would be the same as a whole country. So we're talking about economic power when we say black power. We're talking about family power. We're talking about, so I don't see that being the word radical.
But
I was a radical, let me just finish, please. I was a radical at Xerox Corporation, where I worked for 10 years. I was president of the Black organization at Xerox. So I'm proud to say that Xerox became the #1 corporation for blacks in America to work in. I think sometimes radical is just bringing awareness and letting someone else know your opinion in a strong way, not in a forceful way, but sometimes sitting at the table. I don't view that. But so my kids saw their parents. My former wife and my friend Tina, she was radical. She had the big afro. I went to Fisk University after going to the University of Tennessee. We were very radical. We had
amazing.
Fisk.
I had no idea that came from her parents. I thought she was influenced by that radical husband of hers. No. But this whole idea of black power is evil. It's an evil idea because there's no such thing as black power. Black people can live as people, just like normal people, if they want to work hard and have a lot of money and live in certain places. And if they want to support other black businesses or white business or whatever, it's best to go that route, because when you go radical like that and promote all this black power and Black Lives Matter and all that crap, all you do is divide the races, just as the blacks accuse the whites of doing with KKK. Why become like what you hate?
No, that's your perception of that, Jesse. I think I started this out by saying that I don't take it personally when you have a perspective. I don't take that personally. And I don't have to agree with your perspective. I don't agree with your perspective. And I choose not to have to defend my perspective. I'm merely saying that my definition of radical could be totally different than your definition of radical, because your definition appears, I can't speak for you, but it only appears that it's a negative thing. My definition of radical is change. A change in behavior to modify the way that we behave. And so I'm using the word radical in a positive way. And when I say black power, I say that in a positive way, not in a negative way.
But how can you believe
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
How can you believe in God and believe in something called black power? That is nothing. There's no love in that. It doesn't unite. It divides.
But again,
it has a negative impact on children who are born out of wedlock. Look at the impact that is having on all these black children that are born out of wedlock that don't have fathers and mothers to guide them. They now hate white people. They're very radical. They burn down buildings. They loot. They riot. They have no sense of self-control. And people like Beyonce and Beyonce, Michelle, and Obama and all them, they encourage that type of hatred. with this Black Power thing.
I don't know who Beyoncé is, but
she's married. That's your daughter married to Jay-Z.
Well, you said Beyonce and then Beyoncé, and I got confused. So
okay.
But look, Jesse, you are certainly have your opinion. I think that we're at a period in time in America that, as Black people, we need to unite. In my opinion, we're in a period of structural racism when we look at poverty level of Black people, when we look at the education, when we look at housing, when we look at our health and wellness and how we lead in most categories of death, when we look at the justice system and all the things and the number of Black men in prison, that we need to unify, not divide. So I want to thank you very much for giving me this opportunity today.
I know you're about to run, but one little back up, a little thing. If the Blacks had families rather than all this Black Power crap that caused them to feel like victims, if they had families the way you and I did growing up, would they be in jail? Would there be poverty in the manner that it is? Would there be all this stuff happening if they grew up with a decent father and mother?
Well, I can't answer that for you. I know a lot of mothers that do, a lot of Black mothers that do an incredible job, and they live with their own without a father in the home. I know,
where are they?
I know a lot of dads also. So it's a different age, a different era. Again, thank you for the opportunity. Bye.
Are you about to run? No, he ran. Yeah. He ran. Oh my God. That was Beyoncé's daddy. What's his name? Mathew Knowles. Mathew Knowles ran from Jesse Lee Peterson. Beta! Isn't that amazing? That's amazing. He pretended to be all sober-minded and dealing with it and welcome different of opinion. But Mathew Knowles, founder and CEO of Music World Entertainment, the author of many books, including Destiny Child, The Untold Story, the father of music superstar Beyoncé, and his other daughter's name is Solange, right? Solange Z. No, not Z. Not Z. But he ran. He was supposed to be on for an hour. Don't let him tell you he didn't run. He ran. Oh, he ran. I am dumbfounded. And we from Alabama. Mathew Knowles ran from Jesse Peterson because he didn't want to be honest. That's what it was. About why Blacks are acting this way. If they had families the way he and I did growing up. Is that all right? Why they looking weird? That's good. Why, if Blacks had families, fathers and mothers, grandparents and all this, an example, would they have done well in life as well? He didn't want to answer that. Amazing. He didn't want to talk about his radical children. I didn't get a chance to put him in the hot seat. Oh, I guess he was in the hot seat. That seat was burning. That's why he ran. And we were talking about his daughters. Beta! Mathew Knowles. I keep saying Michael because I just interviewed a Michael before this interview, and it was amazing. So I got Michael on my mind here. Beyoncé's daddy ran. That's it for that interview, folks. Let me know what you think about it. And don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, tweet, share, and go to our store there, TheFallenState.tv store, and purchase a lot of good stuff. And The Fallen State is on Patreon. Click on the link there in the description and support what we're doing. But don't let anyone fool you. Mathew Knowles ran from Jesse Lee Peterson. He was supposed to be all along. He became very uncomfortable. The heat. And I was just having a conversation with two country boys. Amazing. Well, he said he was radical. No wonder his children are radical. I had no idea that the father and the mother were radical. But anyway, thank you, folks. Have a good one.